Except for no.
See, it's never clear when you play here.
No, it's never easy neither.
No, don't want it to be.
Just offensively, where you are, you came back during the season, and now you add Hilton, and now the offensive line is going to shuffle here. Just talking about making these adjustments at this stage in the season when you're also, there's a sense of urgency even more to play your best ball and get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Just got to trust, obviously, the practice and the training and everything that we've put into this. Obviously, adding another receiver, that's going to help. He's just going to make that room better. Adding a veteran guy, I mean, the guy's, 10 years older than CD or so. I mean, I just think that whether you're thinking on the field, preparation off the field, how that can help that room is going to serve. And then having to make changes late on the offensive line, unfortunately, we lost a great player in Terrence. But we've got a couple of guys that can step in. And then when you've got a guy that's a future gold jacket, potentially can play over there. You're going to, as I said, trust the training, trust the reps that we have, trust the way that we've been working this week at practice and moving forward on a lot of these things. And, it's important that we play our best ball. So it's just make sure we got to communicate. We take advantage of these reps as they've gotten shortened down in the latter part of the season. But we'll be fine.
What have y'all done to gain more chemistry with T.Y.? I know Mike said that you guys spend a lot of extra time on offense after practice yesterday. Are y'all doing that every day, or how does that work?
Yeah, Mets every day. That's not necessarily just for T.Y., but obviously it's going to benefit him. Smart guy. I mean, I just sat there with him and Kyle Valero and went over hand signals, plays, this and that, and just honestly, he knows as much as anybody could, just showing up in the time that he showed up. I mean, he's pretty much got the playbook down at every position. But as I said, the guy's a vet. He's played a lot of ball. He's played with different coordinators and different systems, and so no surprise at all. I mean, obviously, and he's smart, so he'll speed that process up just from being the player and the guy that he is.
How do you try not to overanalyze mistakes when you talk to CD or even when you talk to Kellen and QB coach?
From
Interceptions, fumble, anything of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it for what it was. And as you just said, you overanalyze. You might start trying to change different things that were fine and that are okay. And honestly, some of it's just unfortunate. And it goes back to, as I said well before, it's about risk versus reward. Having the confidence that I have in my arm, understanding what's the risk at this time versus the reward. And I've just got to dial that in a little bit more, heighten the focus. But as far as the decision making and all that, it's tough because I'm not going to change that, as I told you. I'm going to continue to stay aggressive. It's just a balance, fine line of a balance that I've got to get to. In one way or another, I've got to stop throwing interceptions, whether they're picked, deflected, whatever. It just can't happen anymore.
You mentioned risk reward. Also, you want to stay aggressive. Some teams need the quarterback to pretty much, or the passing game to be the whole offense. When you have the running backs you do, does that influence your decisions of when it is worth it to take the risk? Yeah,
for sure. And it might be just getting off of that one receiver and progressing through and maybe getting it to the back, or honestly throwing it away or using my legs. And understanding that, and not just the run game, the defense, whether it's third down or not, and living for another series, living for another play, understanding that the defense is going to give me another opportunity. Even when you do throw an interception, right there in your own end zone, they step up and make plays. So, it's just it's a fine line that I said I've got to try to find to balance. But I've worked hard to get to where I am, so I'll find it.
This point of the season, your legs come into play more. You don't have to. This is the time.
I guess you can say that. Whether it be this week or here in the next couple of weeks, but damn sure as we move forward and get ready to make the playoff run, I think it just adds another element to the offense. Obviously, can only help and open up the run game for Zeke and TP. Whether it's scrambling and extending plays or just going to get some yards on first, second down in the passing game, I think it's important just to open that up and give teams something maybe that they haven't seen. As I said, maybe not this week, maybe next week, maybe not next week, but sure, moving forward.
Y'all got the win against Houston, but both sides of the ball had things that y'all said you wanted to work on. What can you do this week to kind of take that next step?
One more time.
After the Houston game, you got the win, but both sides of the ball said there were things that you guys wanted to work on. How can this week help with that, and what are you seeing from the Jacksonville defense?
I mean, Jacksonville's a good team, very talented. Obviously, they're young. The record might not show that the way may not show how they've been playing and how talented they are. They got a great mix of young draft picks, high draft picks in the last couple of years with some good veteran guys that they got over free agents. And you turn on the tape from last week, the last couple of weeks, and that's a good team. So, I mean, for us, it was about getting in and cleaning those things from the Houston game up during the week and knowing that we've got another great opponent coming up forward. And so regardless of the record or not, we've got to lock in and play our best ball, and it's going to be required on the road against a team like that.
You talk about not overreacting or overanalyzing the mistakes. Is that easier to do because you're not just looking at the lump number? You've been through every single one, and you know which were decisions or executions or just unfortunate incidents. Does that help you say that, hey, I have the right approach here? I know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for sure. Yeah, and as you said, I'm just looking at them individually and not the number. I mean, obviously, you don't want to. I keep cussing today, sorry. You definitely don't want to throw. That's just one. Yeah, I woke up on one today. You definitely.
Why you wake up on one today?
You know, some days you just got to do that. You know, it was a decision. It was a decision. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to throw a pick every game, and at times it feels like that. I mean, but yeah, I mean, you go back and you look at them individually. A lot of, as I said, misfortune and just tip balls and things that go up in the air, and you watch around the league, and those plays are happening, and some are being intercepted, some are not being caught, and that's just part of the game. And that's why I said it's just a whole risk versus reward, trying to just be smarter with the ball and limit those opportunities that the defense can get their hands on.
Does it bother you that there's so much more talk about the mistakes you've made, the interceptions you've thrown?
No, nothing. Honestly, there's not much that you guys talk about that bothers me. Yeah, I mean, I've been through much more than words and things like that. I don't like throwing interceptions. That's what bothers me. It has nothing to do with what other people say or how other people feel. It's something that I've never enjoyed, never liked, never accepted that as a standard for myself. So whether they're tipped up or not, I just know this position that it puts our team in, and something that I don't want to do. So, yeah.
You guys have a chance to clinch the playoffs this week. I don't know if you know that with the win. Have y'all talked about that, and what does that mean?
No, honestly, we haven't talked about it. I didn't know that. I figured it'd be soon, to be honest with you. But I think that's just the mindset of our team. Is just taking it, as I've said numerous of times, just taking it one game at a time, controlling what we can, not worried about other teams in our division, whether they're winning, whether they're not, and just focusing on continuing to get better. Because at this point, we know we're in that thing, so we've just got to make sure we're continuing to build on what we've accomplished, create some great momentum as we go forward, and just keep our chemistry very high and tight.
Jack, you had the chance to go to Starkville earlier this fall. I think spend a little bit of time at least with Mike Leach. What was that experience like, and what was, I don't know, reaction to the news, but what was your message to everyone who's going through that grieving process?
Yeah, I mean, obviously my deepest condolences with the Leach family, Mississippi State, the university, fans, and anyone that he's been able to coach or coach with and had an impact in their life. Yeah, I just was honestly fortunate just to meet him just over a couple of times of visiting Starkville. Can't say that we had a close relationship, but for sure a guy that I was interested in, whether it be interviews that he did or whether it was just him coaching the Bulldogs and creating a great winning atmosphere around there. Going to be deeply missed. I mean, I know the way that he's changed college football. You look at all the guys that have coached under him that are head coaches, and just that impact alone. He's touched so many lives, and obviously just saddened by the news. And yeah, it was a tough Sunday, Monday for the program. And just as I said, deepest condolences to his family, the players, and I know they'll go forward and honor him in their bowl game and put out a great effort.
It's a very emotional game, as you know. But we've seen Brady slam tablets, Aaron Rodgers slam tablets. How close have you been to that point?
Well, his pass game was very close. Maybe the helmet got tossed, but just very close and slow to the ground. I know y'all have cameras everywhere, and I don't like to always show when I'm frustrated. But yeah, I mean, I was close. But at the same time, I'm a very optimistic guy. I know the importance of keeping my cool and make sure other guys know that we're going to be okay, we're going to be fine. So it's a line that I'm always treading. But yeah, when you're passionate about something, when you put as much as you put into something, those times are going to come, whether it's slamming tablets, helmets, or not. When you've invested so much time into something, if you don't feel that way, then something's wrong with you. So yeah, thank you guys.